Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Football Chuggu Podcast. My name is Thomas Durning, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Pearse McLaughlin. Hello, Pearse.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. On today's podcast, we'll be reacting to last weekend's English FA Cup results, the Scottish Premier League results, and at the end of the podcast, Pearse will be giving a rundown of all the latest Asian football news. So we'll start off with last weekend's English FA Cup results. So it was a quarter-final. So obviously 8 teams playing in a quarter-final. And the results finished Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 3, Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Nottingham Forest won 4-3 on penalties. And then on Sunday, 30th of March, the results finished Preston 0, Aston Villa 3, and Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 2. So, Pearse, is there a match there from the quarter-final that stands out to you?
Yeah, I'm going to go Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. With Nottingham Forest advanced on penalties. And I believe that's Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, their second consecutive penalty shootout that they've went on and won. And the match itself I thought was very end-to-end. Because it went either way. There was chances galore. So it wasn't as if it was like a 0-0 that was kind of boring to watch. It was very exciting. A lot of chances for our side, but both goalkeepers and defensive were on top form. But you've got to show the resilience of Nottingham Forest to win two consecutive shootouts and advance to the semi-finals. Would have got a serious chance of lifting silverware because they get a step closer now at Wembley. They're also sitting comfortable in the league, Champions League places. So for me, that was a standout result. Yeah, and obviously you've got some other good results there as well. But I think you can now see them get a real fighting chance of lifting a trophy this season.
Yeah. The Manchester City result, probably for me, stands out because I think getting into this game, a lot of people were really doubting Manchester City to win this game against a Bournemouth team who've had a really good season. And the fact they got through that, it just kind of stood out to me because I just feel like that kind of result can probably makes me feel more confident for them that they'll go on and actually win something, like you said. Obviously you've got Aston Villa that are still in it because they got through, and you've got the Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. The three really good teams alongside Manchester City. But Manchester City now are out of the Champions League, as we know. They're no way going to win the Premier League, and only really fighting for top four in the league. So I think the FA Cup for them is going to be win or bust. And I think Pep Guardiola will be desperate to lift a trophy after the sort of disastrous season that they've had. But that is definitely my standout result. And I would definitely keep my eye on Aston Villa because I think they're in for a great chance as well. Obviously in the Champions League quarterfinals as well, which is really impressive. So, but yeah, that's my standout result. So we'll now move on to the Scottish Premier League results from the weekend. So on Saturday, 29th of March, the results finished Celtic 3, Hearts 0, Hibs 3, St Johnstone 0, St Mirren 5, Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 1, Aberdeen 4, Motherwell 1, Dundee 3, Rangers 4. And on Sunday, the 30th of March, there was one match which finished Ross County 0, Dundee United 1. So it was actually quite a good weekend of Scottish Premier League action, especially on Saturday. So what match from there, Pearse, stands out to you?
I think there's more than one.
Yeah.
I think I'll start with St Mirren 5, Kilmarnock 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you say, Kilmarnock have actually been up and down this season, but they never really get beat by 5 goals. And I thought St Mirren to a man, although the conditions were pretty horrendous, it was like really heavy rain, plus sliding over the place. But I thought the football they played on show at the weekend was nothing short of sensational. And I think it was 5 different goal scorers. No, it was 4 different goal scorers because Boyd Munn's got 2 goals. Um, and literally, like, the standard they finished was pretty good. And they thoroughly dominated. It was 5 going on about 10. I thought Kilmarnock were absolutely woeful. They couldn't deal with St Mirren. They were just popping it around them, and they were just creating chance after chance. They weren't falling runners. So it was a very un-Kilmarnock-like performance. And St Mirren, it was like the perfect day at the office. It was like it was scintillating at times. Just the way they were just wanted it more, and they just they're a threat, but you don't expect it to be 5-1. But no, I thought it was really good performance. With obviously, I think the middle of the park, that's where St Mirren dominated. With Boyd Munce and Mark O'Hara, I thought they two were outstanding. And in terms of other results, I think you've got to mention the Aberdeen 4, Motherwell 1. Another very comfortable performance, and as you can see, Aberdeen have certainly turned the corner. Um, Kevin Nisbet got a double. His second one was an absolute corker, right in the top corner, which was probably the strike of the weekend. So good result there for Aberdeen. And then probably the tie of the round in terms of competitiveness is Dundee 3, Rangers 4. Um, Dundee were 2-0 up, 3-1 up, and I think that's now, I think it's 5 of Barry Ferguson's 7 games in charge has now went 2-0 down in games. And they've obviously came back, not in every one, but in most of them, and won, or at least get something, a positive result from the game. Shows you the character, and obviously the influence he's had on the dressing room already at Rangers, that the manager to come back in these games, well, they look dead and buried. Whether it be tactical changes, whether it be substitutions or changing formation, it's clearly a positive effect. But throughout this game, I thought Dundee caused Rangers all sorts of problems. Had to do it a number of times. Thought Jack Butland had a poor game. Rangers defence had a poor game. And then obviously Dundee, who haven't been the best this season, but they've had some good results along the way. I thought attacking wise, I thought Dundee were very good, but defensively again, they kind of crumbled in the second half with the pressure of Rangers. And obviously some really good strikes in there as well. Noticeably, probably Tavernier's strike from Rangers box, Tom Lawrence's long range strike. Thought Scott Tiffany's goal was really good as well. So all in all, it was a really good game of football. If you're watching it as a neutral, I thought it was probably the tie of the round in terms of competitiveness from both sides, not just obviously one side blitzed another side. And I thought Dundee deservedly should have got something from the game, but football can be cruel sometimes. Cyril Dessers popping up with a winner, and that was his 12th shot of the game, Tom. And that was the same as Dundee had in the home match. And Cyril Dessers got an offside goal. He missed 4 1-on-1s. And then he scores probably the hardest chance of the lot, which probably sums up Cyril Dessers' career at Rangers. Um, but no, I thought that was probably the most competitive match of the weekend. But like you say, it was a really good weekend of Scottish football action.
Yep, I agree. But that is my standout match. It has to be. It has to be Dundee 3, Rangers 4. You don't see a 4-3 match in the Scottish Premier League every weekend, so it stands out to me. Going into the game, I'm thinking Rangers will build on the the last performance against Celtic where they deserved the victory. So I'm thinking, Rangers are going to this now. They've had 2 weeks to train more under Barry Ferguson, and so I'm thinking when they're going to this, it'll be comfortable for them, and before they know it, they're 2-0 down. So I'm thinking, it's clear to see nothing's really changed. Um, it was, Dundee, you know, in terms of the full match, they played really well. Um, you know, they could have easily scored more than 3 goals, actually. They could have scored at least a couple more. They were really good in the match. And Rangers, ever since Barry Ferguson's come to the club as manager, every game just seems to be a bit of a roller coaster. Um, the one thing I will give um, Barry Ferguson is that if this was under Philippe Clement, I don't think Rangers would have won that game. So Rangers were 3-1 down. I think it was in like the 70th minute against Dundee. They only had 20 minutes to score 3 goals, and as I said, under Philippe Clement, I don't think it would have happened. So you got to give admiration to Barry Ferguson. It seems to me that he's still instilled a little bit more of a better mentality in the Rangers players, because I think that's what's been missing this season. But they obviously can't be going every game, conceding 3 goals. We also know that the time's done. For Rangers. But um, I think Barry Ferguson will. I think there is still lots of issues there for Rangers, but they got the victory. A last minute goal from Cyril Dessers as well. He gets a lot of stick, but he does seem to nick some goals from time to time, and he also got a really important one there. So that's definitely my standout match in the weekend. It has to be. But obviously, St Mirren scoring 5 goals against Kilmarnock. Again, you don't see St Mirren scoring 5 goals that often, so that's a really impressive one for them. Um, you know, and then just lastly, Aberdeen. That was a good victory for them as well. And Kevin Nisbet, I don't know if you saw his goal. It was his second goal. It was about 30 yards out, and he just kind of rifled it into the top corner, and he seems to be in hot form at the moment. So I just wanted to quickly mention that. But yeah, my standout match from the weekend in the Scottish Premier League is Dundee 3, Rangers 4. So for the final part of the show, Pearse will now give his Asian football roundup.
Yep, so K-League 1, match day 6. Saturday 29th of March, we had FC Seoul 3, Daegu FC 2. Daejeon Hana Citizen 1, Gwangju FC 1. Pohang Sales 1, Ulsan HDFC 0. Sunday 30th of March, Jeju SK 1, Suwon FC 0. FC Anyang 0, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors FC 1. Gimcheon Sangwoo 1, Gangwon FC 0. So leading the top of the table looking like this. We've got Daejeon Hana Citizen, top on 13 points from 6 games. And then we've got Gimcheon and Samnu FC Seoul, joint second, both on 11 points, separated by just 2 goals. And then at the bottom of the table, we've got Suwon FC, rock bottom, the only side yet to win a league game this season, on 3 points after 6 matches. And then we've FC Anyang in 11th, newly promoted, on 6 points. And then from 10th all the way to 7th in the league, we've got Gangwon FC, Jeju SK, Gwangju FC, and Daegu FC, all on 7 points. So it's 4 sides on 7 points, separated by just the 2 goals, which just shows you how tight it is all the way up until middle of the table. So in terms of Japanese football, so in J-League 1, we had match day 7 at the weekend. So we had a match on Friday, the 28th of March, and that was Cerezo Osaka 1, Ure Diamonds 1. Saturday, the 20th of March, we had Fagiano Okayama FC 1, Yokohama F. Marinos 0. Shimizu S-Pulse 3, Shonan Bellmari 0. Alvarez Nagata 3, Gambo Osaka 3. Kashireso 0, Tokyo Verde 0. Kyoto Sanga FC 1, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 0. Nago Grampus 2, Yokohama FC 1. Avispa Fukuoka 2, SMG Zelvia 2. Cash Rattles 1, Vissel Kobe 0. SC Tokyo 0, Kawasaki Frontale 3. So at the top of the table, we've got Cash Rattlers, top of the table on 16 points from 7 matches. Second, we've got FC Zelvia on 13 points. And then top 3 is Kashireso on 12 points. But all the way down from 4th all the way to 9th, all on the same points on 11 points. So it shows you how tight it is at the top of the table. We've got Kawasaki Frontale, Shimizu F Pulse, Fagiano Okayama FC, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 0, Sanfrecce Hiroshima, Kyoto Sanga FC, and Shonan Bellmari, all on 11 points, separated by quite a clear goal difference. We've got Kawasaki on +7, and it goes all the way down to Shonan Bellmari on -1. So all set by 8 goals, but it's very tight. And you've got, obviously, in there, you've got Kawasaki Frontale and Sanfrecce Hiroshima, both who played 6 matches rather than the allotted 7 that a lot of sides have done. So they both get a chance to strengthen that gap. And obviously, if they win their game in hand, they've got a chance to move above And then at the bottom of the table, we've got Albertus Nagata, 20 position, 4 points after 7 matches. Nogo Grampus 19th on 5 points. And then, surprisingly, 18th position, only 1 win all season, and that is the last season champions Vissel Kobe. And obviously, they've won the league 2 years in a row. But with the start of this season, it's looking highly unlikely. They're well off the pace, and they look a shadow of their former selves. And then the 17th and 16th position, just outside the bottom 3, we've got Seizo Osaka and Yokohama F Mariners, both on 6 points, also separated by just the 1 goal. So in terms of other Asian football news, so Japanese and Bayern Munich defender Hiroki Ito has been ruled out for the rest of the season after sustaining yet another metatarsal fracture. It's actually his second metatarsal fracture season. He suffered one at his pre-season last year, and he's only just recently come back. So a massive blow for Ito. Like you say, he's basically missed a full season now, and obviously he's had a recurring injury, which is not good to see. So in terms of the 2024 KFA awards, so the Player of the Year award has gone to Son Heung-Min. Son Heung-Min has been named the Korean Football Association's Men's Player of the Year for 2024. And Min-Hyuk has been named the Korea Football Association's Men's Young Player of the Year for 2024. A breakout year at Gangwon FC got him his move to Tottenham Hotspur, where he's currently on loan at QPR in the English Championship, and recently made his senior debut for the South Korea national side. And that is all your latest Asian football news.
Thank you, Pearse, and thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Football Chuggu Podcast. This podcast will be available to listen to on the Football Chuggu YouTube channel and also the Football Chuggu website. Thanks for listening and see you soon.
Bye-bye.